All right, so I'll do a quick video. I think I was talking about Jane, and I would explain maybe why she doesn't want to speak with me. And actually, I came across there's been a lot of articles and things like that about Samantha in the media and the news recently, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, we're coming up on the 40th anniversary of her actually writing the letter. We just passed the 39th anniversary of when she was contacted at school that her letter had appeared in Pravda, and that's kind of what sparked me to do this video quick. And it does kind of segue into talking about why Jane won't speak to me, and how I'm perceived by her. We'll talk about that, but anyway. So first, there was an article. I think Jane actually did an interview or wrote a letter to one of the papers in Maine. I'm not sure which paper it was, but talking about how Samantha would be appalled at what's happening with Putin and Ukraine and all of that. And I mean, who isn't appalled by what's going on over there? I mean, that's it's needless to say. I think there's a lot more going on there than what's being told to us, and it goes a lot deeper. And I think that Samantha actually does play into what's happening over there right now. That's a topic I'm not going to get into right now, but obviously nobody wants war. Is Putin a madman, or is there something else going on? I mean, that's a whole nother video that I can do. But anyway, Jane had spoken about that, and then there was this just 2 days ago, the Pravda Prince Maine letter. This is back in April 12th of 1983. It happened on April 11th, actually, and it went into the news on April 12th. And so it's starting to come up now, the anniversary, and talking about how, Samantha's message is just as important now as it was back then. There's a whole level of I guess propaganda going on here. But anyway, here's another article that I saw. Samantha Smith's peace-seeking letter to Soviet Union endures as a lesson for children to ask questions about world events. As the 40th anniversary of the Manchester's Girl, a famous letter, approaches this November, her message for world peace is more relevant than ever. So I knew that this was going to start happening, and especially when all the stuff was ramping up with Russia, when Trump was in office and all that, that Samantha was going to come back. She still is remembered in the former Soviet Union and in Maine, but it's starting to make the rounds again. And so going back to Jane, I think that what she is perceiving me as is more or less an enemy, I guess. I think that's kind of how she perceives me, as a bad guy. And the reason for that is that I have started to unravel the mainstream narrative surrounding Samantha, because there is a lot more going on at play here. The fact that she was possibly even in her plane crash was sabotage. There might have been a lot more manipulation going on behind the scenes of using Samantha, as the mainstream narrative was she was being used by the Soviet Union, and the right in the United States didn't like it, and there was that dynamic. But I think that it goes even deeper than that. There's a whole other level of usage that's going on here, and I know that Jane wants to just, and I understand that she just wants to remember her daughter the way she wants to remember her, so I get it. That is what's going on here. I'm kind of unraveling one thread of a world topic, I guess, that's happening here, and there's a lot going on. and as I end this video, I just wanted to do it quick. This is going to segue into, I'll go into this deeper in the next video, but we're going to talk about just one example here of looking at this. And we know that the mainstream narrative of Samantha was that she saw the Time magazine article, and approached Jane and asked her, and that's how she wound up writing the letter. But if you look at the first media coverage of Samantha, when her letter was shown in the Pravda, she said that this is in reference to, she didn't remember when she wrote the letter, but recalled that she got the idea from a class assignment which her father, Arthur Smith, had given to his English class at the University of Maine at Augusta. He had his class write a letter to a famous person, so I thought I might do one too, said Samantha. So, right here already, there's no talk about the Time magazine article. There's nothing about Jane. Samantha doesn't even remember when she wrote the letter, and she believes that she wrote it based off of Arthur's assignment to his class. So, and I'm not saying that the Time magazine narrative isn't true. I'm just saying that as you dig into this, you start seeing things like this that they didn't talk about. When they first spoke to Samantha, she didn't even remember when she wrote the letter. So, and thought that it was a class assignment. So somewhere between here and we're going to see in 2 weeks when Andropov writes back to Samantha, that the whole narrative changed at that point to, oh, I saw a Time magazine article and asked Jane. So just looking at this, there are things that start maybe questioning what exactly was happening here. So I just want to end it quick here. That was a quick video. I'll start doing more videos here and there, and getting them out there. And actually, I mean, there's so many pieces to this. And if there's certain aspects of this that people are more interested in, they want to hear me talk something about, more about her Soviet trip, or the plane crash, which I was going into, or her Lime Street with Robert Wagner, things like that. I can talk about anything at this point. Anything's on the table, but I do want to talk about the period of Samantha writing her letter to actually Andropov writing back. I want to focus on that because you're going to see that there's a lot more going on here than has been led to believe in the mainstream narrative. So anyway, okay, sorry, didn't want to be too long-winded here, but I'll stop it here. And I'll do the next video. I'll keep these going and just keep going, because things are going to start ramping up here with what's going on in Russia and the Ukraine and what happened with Samantha 40 years ago. It's all related, trust me. So I will see you in the next video. All right, thanks.